Hey there nation, welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and we are back with another episode of Hobbyside. This time on this episode of Hobbyside, we'll be taking a look at our Warcraft terrain that we use for our Saga the 8-Point battle reports. And we'll also talk about some of the new terrain that has been mainly made by Iron Major, and talk about some of the design concepts he came up with as well. So as you can see here, we have the entire starter set for Warcry. We're talking about exactly how we painted these up, what the design concept was behind each of the pieces of terrain on this one. So with that being said, let's get this video on a roll. Alright, so the very first piece of terrain we're actually going to talk about is actually these tufts of smoke, as you can see here. These were actually original creations made by Iron Major, our resident terrain wizard. As you can see, we have 4 of these bad boys scattered throughout the entirety of the battlefield. There's another one back there as well as one more over here in the very back corner, as you can see that. So these are actually really cool, and the reason why these are really cool is because if you guys will notice, if you look at the subtlety of the lighting on these things, they actually glow with the inner light, and they also flicker as well, which makes it look really cool, like these are actual bonfires that are actually burning. It looks much cooler when you're actually playing a game live, and as you can see in this video, you can see the flames flickering on this one as well. And this is actually pretty ingenious. Iron Major actually came up with the idea after watching a video from another YouTuber named Black Magic Crafts is his name. If you guys get a chance, check out that video. He's got an awesome video series, talks about how to make all kinds of different types of terrain with really cheap materials, which is one of the reasons why we love his channel so much, because he's also a fellow CheapSkate as well. And as you can see here, these things are pretty awesome as well. How he made the flame effects really is that you buy, if you look on the bottom here, these are really cheap dollar store tea candles. They're battery powered with the LED light inside of it. And that's where the light is coming from. That's like because that flickering effect is coming from, is from that tea candle light. And then what Iron Major did is he hot glued some stuffing material all over the outside of this as well, and then he spray painted with a small amount of black spray to make it look like smoke and fire. And that's the reason why these things look like they're flames that are billowing and why they're glowing on the inside, because it represents the fact that these things are actually burning and are actually on fire. So these things are really cool. You might have seen these at a couple of our battle reports already. We've got a couple of them scattered throughout our Necromunda battle reports, as well as our Warcry battle reports as well. So these things are really awesome. So that's the first thing we're going to show you. Up next, we're actually going to show you the actual terrain from the Warcry set and how we went about painting that and assembling that as well. Alright, so up next we're going to talk about the Warcry terrain that we actually use on this channel. As you can see here, we have our different pieces of Warcry terrain that we have. If you notice, the ladder is actually not glued down on this piece right here. That's actually done on purpose, so that way we can use that ladder for other portions of the miniatures as well. Now the thing about the Warcry terrain set is that the instructions are not really clear about how to assemble the different pieces of Warcry terrain. My suggestion to you, if you do buy a set of Warcry terrain, not to glue all the parts down, like for example this platform and this statue of the head of Sigmar, and I didn't glue that down. I would recommend you actually watch some videos on YouTube about it, because what it is that actually ends up happening is actually like 5 distinct pieces of terrain that you need to construct. Like this unit here, that's a set of runes there. The bell tower, of course, we just talked about the head of Sigmar, as well as this set of runes, as well as this set of runes. And you have to put them together in a certain way, so that way you can use all the terrain pieces on every single one of the different battlefield cards that come with the starter set as well. So if you want to watch those videos, they are very informative how to actually assemble those together. And these sculpts are actually really nice. These are pretty high quality sculpts for each of the buildings and for the pieces of ruin terrain. They came out really nice. And I'm just going to use the bell tower here because this one is readily available. I'm going to take the bell tower here. I'm going to take off this stairway so that way we can take a look at it. I didn't glue it on the stairway because that way I could use it for other platforms and stuff. And this actual bell tower is actually a pretty good way of showing you how we went about painting up all this terrain as well. For the most part, how we ended up painting it was just using spray paint for the most part. Just regular cheap satin or flat spray paint. And that's what we did for most of the work that is done with the stone. My suggestion to you is if you're going to paint the terrain, paint the wooden aspects of it, the wooden planking and the stairs. Keep that separated off of the ruins first. Paint those up, and then also paint up the ruins separately, and then assemble them together because it makes it much easier. So for the wood, it was pretty simple. All we did is we just took some Rust-Oleum Espresso satin finish spray paint and sprayed all the wood structures that we wanted. Then we just dry brushed it real quick with some Territorial Beige by Apple Barrel Paint. That costs like 50 cents a tube for a 2-ounce tube. Did a quick dry brush job with that. And that's all we really did for the wood parts. Also picked out some of the details in silver for anniversary silver for those of the parts that are metallic colors, like on the end of those end caps there, as well as the individual iron strappings for each of the different bars as well. And then after we did that, all we did after that was spray paint the stonework. And how we did that is we actually took a couple of cans of spray paint. We took some navy blue color that's made by Rust-Oleum, just cheap navy blue spray paint. Sprayed the entirety of the surface with that. And then we took another can of seafoam blue. That's actually a sky blue, sorry. That's actually made by the same company, and just kind of tilted it further away and just kind of dusted the entire surface with that color. And then we did it one more time again with another surface of seafoam blue as well to get this kind of glowing, ethereal, kind of bluish color, turquoise blue color going on all the stone ruins. And that's how we did all the stone ruins as well. And the final step, of course, we took some dry brushing with some light granite gray, which is made by Apple Barrel Paint as well. Another 50-cent tube of paint, and just dry brushed the entire surface. And then we use anniversary silver to paint up all the metal pieces like these cages that you guys see there as well. For the wooden pieces like this platform here, let me get that real quick, this little gangway here, we just spray painted the entire thing with espresso flat spray paint, dry brushed it with territorial beige, and then we painted the edges with khaki paint by Apple Barrel Paint as well to make the sharpened edges. We use light blue, which is another color by Apple Barrel Paint, to do all the cording and the roping as well. And then we use copper as well as pure gold color. We use that for all the metal bits and all the railings and things of that nature, like over there. You see the pure gold color on that one as well. And that's how we did it. And then once we got done painting all these things, we actually put all this through a giant dip wash. Now the only thing is that I really didn't want to feel like taking mid-wax poly shades and actually just painting this on every single piece of terrain. So what I ended up doing instead is I just went to my local hardware store, bought the cheapest small quart can of decking stain that they actually had, water-soluble deck stain. I just filled that until I have a plastic tub and did a little combination of 1 part stain to 3 parts water, mixed it all together, then I dipped the entire structures into that mixture, and I set it aside and let it dry for 24 hours. And that gave us a nice little dip wash to make everything look kind of grimy and dirty, and also to bring out all the details as well. So it's a very quick paint job. I think it took us a single evening of painting actually to do all this. To paint all these up, it took us about a single evening to do all that. And then another 24 hours to wait for the stain to dry. And then I just took some matte varnish spray and just sprayed it all down with some matte varnish. And that's how we got the terrain that we did. We did it for all the different pieces of terrain for our Warcry set. So yeah, pretty simple paint job. Very easy and really came out looking really cool. Really like this Sigmar helm statue. And it came out really, really cool. So that's good to do for this one, guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest news about the hobby aspect of our channel. That's good to do for this one, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, you guys. You guys stay classy.